Hey folks, Brother Sam here. Do me a favor, tap that subscribe button, hit the bell for the notifications so you know when we got a new video coming out. And tonight I want to focus on the calling of God on your life and what to do when you're uncertain about it, or you're confused about it, or you're frustrated about it, because a lot of people are. A lot of times we sit in a church 25 years and still don't know what God called us to, and I don't think that's normal. So we're going to get back to normal here, and we're going to do this in a series of videos. We're going to just do a few short videos to deal with this specific issue. And where I want to start is John chapter 1, uh, verses 11 to 13. We're going to start there, and then we'll go from there. And it reads, "He came to his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God." And this is something we got to remember, that we get so focused on what should I do that we forget that this is about who you're supposed to be. That God has given you an identity called son. No matter what your calling is, your calling is a job. I might be a prophet, I might be an apostle, a bishop, whatever. Those are jobs. My identity is son. Whatever my function in the kingdom is, that's going to end as far as my ministry or my calling in this earth. It will end the day I die. But I'm a son for eternity. So which one of those do you think is more important? Not that your calling isn't important. It's the reason you're here. But your identity determines everything else. Everything flows from that identity. So we got to understand, first of all, what does it mean to be a son of God? And we have actually a detailed teaching on what it means to be saved. I'll put that in the link at the end. But tonight I want to encourage you, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling stuck, if you're unsure of your call, go back to this beginning. That you are a son of God. And that has all kinds of implications. See, in the Old Testament, that phrase was never used in reference to human beings. Every time it uses the phrase, the sons of God, the Benai Elohim, never refers to human beings. It refers to some other kind of beings. Some people will say angels, some people say some other kind of beings, that angels are one category, because that appears to be a job and not a species. But whatever it is, it's more than a human being. It's above us. You're given this supernatural, superhuman status. That you've been elevated beyond the fragility and the frailty of your humanity, above your Adamic nature and the corruption of this flesh. You've been given a status of the Son of God. This is where I want you to start. This is where I want you to focus. That God is your daddy. He saved you to be a worshiper, to be a son. So what I want you to do, relax. I'm not saying forget about your calling, but stop stressing about it. Because here's the thing. Your calling is a certainty. If he saved you, he's got a calling for you. So calm down, relax. Focus on being a son. Because a lot of times we have all this anxiety. But the truth is, there's things God is not going to show you until you're ready. That's why you got to focus on your sonship. You have to grow up a bit. There are things that God didn't show me until the last couple years. One major thing, he didn't show me till last year, because had I known beforehand, what I would have done. I wasn't ready. And there's things that God didn't discuss with me or didn't reveal to me 20 years ago because I wasn't ready. Just like you could have the perfect 5-year-old, perfect in every way, but they're not perfect to drive a car, are they? Now, I remember when I was about 5 years old, sitting in the front seat, because back then there weren't those kind of rules. You could sit in the front seat, and my dad's driving, and I said to him, I know how to drive a car. Because, I saw him doing like this with the wheel, and I thought that was all there was to it. I wasn't even aware of the pedals. Clueless little kid. And a lot of times we're like that with our calling. We don't know there's more to it. Not that God won't use you. God will use you where you're at. Don't worry about that. Just surrender to the Holy Spirit. Surrender to the Lordship of Christ. Be a son. Enjoy the presence of your daddy. Be a worshiper. Spend time with God. Spend time in the Word. Ask God to deal with you. God, purge me, clean me. Deal with my issues. Show me the things deep down inside that I need to let go of, that I need to change. The things that I think are part of my personality, but are really what life and the enemy and family and friends and culture did to me. That wasn't really your will. So that I can become who you intended. Let God start dealing with you as a son. And as you grow, you begin to understand things. There are things I just didn't understand as a little kid, and as an adult, now I look back, I know what was going on because I'm a grown man now. I get it now. Let me not go there, but there are things I just didn't understand, and I didn't get it. I know now. That's the same thing. So relax. Enjoy God as a son, as a worshiper. I challenge you for a week. Focus on your worship. Maybe even spend a little more time in worship. Spend a little more time in prayer. Not even necessarily asking for anything or wanting anything. Just that you want God. God, I want to know you. Start there. And I promise you, you're going to start to grow. God will start dealing with you. And as you grow, you're going to start understanding things. We're going to get into that in the next video. We're going to start talking. We'll talk about patterns and things that you can observe in your life that'll point you toward your call. But for now, I want you to focus on being a son, because everything flows from that. Absolutely everything. Everything you will ever do in the kingdom is because you are a son. Not because you're so great, not because you're so wonderful. Maybe you are. But the truth is, all of it is because Christ died for you and made you a son. So everything comes from that. Focus on that. Make that your focus for this week. It really should be focused for life, but I want you to pay particular attention to this. And then next week we'll get into well, I'll probably make the video tomorrow, but the following week we'll give you some exercises to starting figuring out your call. It's not going to be that hard. So spoiler alert, you're going to find out what your call is. Brother Sam signing.